Okay, so this reading is going to be for Gemini. I've decided to do the Celtic cross layout. So I barely ever do this spread, but we'll do it today. So this first card here is going to talk about where you are right now. Then we're going to do potential challenges, what to focus on, your past, your strengths, your near future, suggested approach, what you need to know, your hopes and fears, and your future potentials. So your first card is the Five of Swords, as signifying where you are right now. Now, the Five of Swords is a card of defeat, so you could be feeling some sense of defeat. Often it can predict that you will lose something through a fault of your own. Other times it can mean that something will be stolen from you. There will be some sort of experience in regard to misfortune or conflict. It's a card of thievery also, so be careful who you keep around you, who you invite into your home. Be careful that you don't talk to people too much about the valuables in your home. It's also maybe losing to an enemy that has outsmarted you. Perhaps you might experience some loss of reputation, position of status, maybe within your friends or your career. If you're expecting a promotion or some sort of recognition, you're not going to get it. And if you had plans for a business, perhaps the competition is fierce. This could also signify a lover being stolen from you, although we all know that lovers aren't stolen, they go where they please. But this can be a card of you feeling defeated by your lover. It may not seem fair to you, but it's definitely something regarding losing out, whether in love, in business, and promotion. Like, definitely a card of some sort of defeat. If we're talking about this in a love sense, it's definitely a card of infidelity, right? You cannot trust your partner or their motives. It's like, it also signifies that they can be taking advantage of you. Okay. Maybe like it's not a 50-50 relationship. Maybe you do more and give more to your partner. Like, you do all the giving and they do all the taking. And it's not a great energy to be in, right? So let's move on to our second card, which is any potentials or challenges. So here you have the Page of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles is definitely a card of like a student, someone, it can be read in different ways, but it represents someone who has like little resources, right? Someone who has the potential to make a lot of money, but is not there yet. It represents someone who's like really ambitious, but does not have the finances in order to accomplish what they want to at this point. It can also mean that this card is advising you to kind of like watch how you spend your money, stay out of debt. It's it talks about how you may be like a little irresponsible when it comes to your money. You may be spending too much money. You may be like hindering your potential for growth, right? It could also mean that, you know, even though you don't have what you need right now, that you can still manifest whatever it is that you desire. You know, it can represent a person coming into your life. It can represent another person coming into your life that has an influence on you. And that person will be like more practical than emotional and very hardworking. You know, if we're going to look at the Page of Pentacles in a love relationship, we would say that, you know, this person, like, really from personal experience, like, this has like a really, it's like a negative card to get in terms of, you know, romance, because it's talking about this other person does not really have like romantic feelings. It's more of a card that's saying that they're not in a position to sustain like a relationship. You know, they may have the basics, but they lack both the financial and emotional means to take care of you. Because like emotionally, they're a page, right? We go from the page to the knight to the king. You want, you know, a king. You don't want, you know, a page when it comes to relationships. You know, you may want to think twice if you're involved with someone like that, which can be like a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn, or someone who has like Earth prominent in their chart. You may find that later down in the, you know, in the line that, you know, this person doesn't think twice about taking out loans or credit cards, and you know that they like money but in a very childish way. It's not like a desirable long-term type of partner. So your next card, what to focus on, the Fool. You have the Fool here. So the Fool is a card of you know, moving from one stage to the next in life, right? It's like getting ready to embark on some sort of journey, feeling like a burning desire to try something new, taking a leap of faith, you know, going out and doing what it is that you want, like not really thinking about it too much, because when you think about it too much, you can, you know, you hesitate, right? It's like follow your heart and you'll do everything well. Like if you notice, he's out here, you know, kind of at the edge of a cliff, you know, with one bag and, you know, dog at his feet, you know, ready to kind of to go off. It can also represent like lack of restraint and discipline, you know, kind of being rebellious, you know, going through a period where you run from responsibilities, or it could mean maybe someone has, you know, ran from you. You know what I mean? It doesn't necessarily mean that you're the one who ran. Take it as it resonates. The Fool card like predicts a time of risk. You know, if you're gonna take a chance, this is a card that says there's no promises that it's going to work out, right? You know, there's also a possibility that that you have trouble making like concrete decisions. So it's a warning also for you not to carry on this behavior in the future. Because this is the card of beginnings. This is not a good card to receive like if you're starting over in a new scenario, in terms of like long-term prospects, right? Like you can start this way, but it's not good to continue this way. And our next card is the King of Wands. And this is for your past. Now, the King of Wands can represent a fire sign. So you may have been involved with an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. It can also mean that this person was probably kind of like a player type energy. It can represent like an important man in your life, someone who is like an advisor, someone who knows how to achieve what they desire. It's definitely someone who's in charge, you know, someone who's likely to be a boss of some sort, who holds like some figure in authority, someone who's business oriented, you know, they like someone who has just the power to shake things up. You know, they have, you know, they're usually the type of person that will argue his case to the end, right? They're very like a kind of dictatorship type of personality. They think of everything like in black and white terms, and there's no way that you can convert like their thinking. If you have this card like in a love reading, you know, the King of Wands could take on like a player personality, right? But they can also take on like someone who's really secure, someone who, you know, is willing to settle down with their partner at the stage of life. Someone who's ready to commit. You know, it can also be someone who's not willing to commit, right? Like, you know, it can be a past energy. It can be the reverse of it, right? Someone who is like a player type energy and someone who's not, you know, really wanting to commit. So your strengths here is the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups is like having a lot of options available to you. You can see that there's like a lot to choose from. It's you know, being also like facing the opinions of many people at the same time, but knowing that not everybody has your best interests at heart. So you should keep this in mind when you're making decisions. If you feel like everyone's giving you advice, you know, just know that they have their own agenda. Perhaps, you know, you need to go within and think about what it is that you want to do and make your own decisions. You know, because also like it's also a card that represents manifestation. So like whatever it is that you're doing now can turn into reality in the future. You know, and then you can have, you know, it appearing as a love message, and if you're thinking about it in terms of love, it can symbolize the choices that you make in a relationship, right? It's like, do you really want to be with your lover or not? Like having to reflect on whether or not you can be happy together. You know, maybe you're at your lover's beck and call. Maybe this is like you not seeing things for what they really are, because it's also a card of like all that glitters is not gold. So being cognizant of that in, you know, your like that's one of your strengths, right? It's being able to discern, being able to make decisions. So Then we have your near future is the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands is definitely like, it definitely symbolizes some sort of fight, you know. Someone's gonna like make some sort of a hassle for you. Maybe like it'll become a severe problem. You know, it's like you're not seeing eye to eye with someone. The individual could be someone that you really care about, a lover, a friend, a family member. It could, you know, if you have children, it could be like a rebellious teenager also, that is not like respecting you or doing things as they should. It can be like, it can represent jealousy at work, business, someone who goes out of their way at work to kind of make you look bad, you know, go out of their way to kind of steal your shine, your thunder, you know. But you should know that when you can see like in this card here, he still has like the upper hand, right? You know, so he's on the hill fighting, which means that, you know, you're gonna fight to remain on top, and chances are that you're gonna stay there a little longer. In terms of love, I mean, you can almost imagine that it, you know, it'll mean like that possibly your relationship is going to end due to bickering, jealousy, and some sort of conflict. The next card shows your suggested approach, which is the Knight of the Knight of Pentacles. So in terms of your suggested approach, the Knight of Pentacles is represents like a card of like having patience, you know, like not being in a hurry, taking your time. It's like it's better done right than to be done quickly. So what if you're like engaged in something right now, just like take your time at it. You know, it's also, it warns you that good things come to those who wait. And if there's a solid foundation, then you're going to have a good outcome. Like some things just can't be rushed. So don't be so quick to jump ship, right? Like things take time. The effort you put in is what you're going to get out to reap the rewards. You may have like an increase of responsibility, or someone around you maybe have to take on more burdens or responsibility at work. It's you know, it's in terms of love, is somebody who like wants to like settle down, right? Someone in the long run who, you know, wants to be married, wants to have a long-term commitment, but they're very slow, right? This can also be like a Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn. They like take forever to commit to something. They don't like to be rushed, you know. If you like things to be like to happen yesterday, then like the Knight of Pentacles type of personality is definitely not for you. It can mean that also that like that your lover is gonna have like a lot of baggage, you know. Maybe they have children in a different relationship, you know, they have like a job that requires a lot from them, but you know, that's whatever it is that you need to do, just know that you need to have patience. That's like your suggested approach. What you need to know, the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is a card that says like you're going to be successful, right? It's a card of celebrations, It's a card of like getting, like knowing that your dreams are going to be fulfilled, especially you know, you can see him here, hands folded, all his cups are filled in the back. You know, it pops up. It could mean like some sort of engagement or marriage. Um, or maybe that things are going to be running smoothly in your relationship. You know, it's also a card associated with luck. You have, you know, maybe you made some good investments lately with your money, and your business plans are going to pan out. Um, you know, it's like also making sure you don't overindulge in the finer things in life without thinking too much about the future. That's like the only negative about that card. Um, like make sure you don't like satisfy your desires at the moment and not think about what truly matters. Like having discipline comes to mind when I see this card here. You see him with his arms folded there. Um, you know, also like don't place too much emphasis on like success and status and gaining attention. You know, it can be someone who like craves the high life but doesn't want to do the work that's required to achieve the things that they want. um, but overall, you know, it's basically saying that you're gonna have whatever it is that you desire, like point blank. Like, you know, that's what you need to know, that you're gonna have what it is that you desire. Card number 9. Woo, the 10 of Cups, your hopes and fears. Okay, so we know that the 10 of Cups is like a great card to get. It means like happy endings, fairy tales, and you know, maybe that's your fear and maybe that's your hope. You know, maybe you fear that you're not going to get that, but maybe you're hoping for the 10 of Cups. Like maybe that's something that you want in your life and you fear that you're not going to have. It's like, you know, happiness in your family is usually a predictor with this card, right? So that's probably something that you're going to end up having, even though you fear that you're not. It can mean like, you know, birth of children are probably possibilities. It's like happy life, happy home. It symbolizes basically like your happy ever after. Like all of the hardships and struggles that you've been through in the past um, end with like this traditional family with like a white picket fence, if that's like your dream, right? Whatever that means to you. Some people it could mean like, you know, going away and traveling. You know, it could mean retirement and living happily ever after. Like whatever that 10 of Cups is for you, then that's what that if that's how it resonates, and that's what it is. Um, it's, you know, it basically means that you're going to be getting the happily family life that you crave. Um, and it won't be contended, right? And to get the 9 of Cups and the 10 of Cups like back to back, I mean, that's just awesome. That's just a great reading, right? This is like, hey, this is what you need to know. You're gonna get what you want, and this card here is confirming like you get it, you know. So, and last but not least, you have the King of Swords as your potential future. Now, the King of Swords represents air signs, right? Swords are air signs. They're like, you know, that's the communication sign. Gemini, you know, Libra, Aquarius. Um, when you have your King of Swords, this is somebody who like, you know, basically, you know, it's above obviously the Queen of Swords, but this is somebody who's like has like who's very like overly intelligent, right? Who uses his brains to get over on like on his enemies or just to succeed in life. Somebody who's quick with it, who's sharp, you know. Someone who has experience also like in arguments and debates. Someone who you know, is is basically like a person that could be like a teacher in your life, or you could be a teacher, right? Um, it's or you could know someone like that in your life. It could be your significant other, or this could be you. It could be a professor, you know. It can be your lover or family, you know. I don't know. You take it as it resonates. Um, in my case, I'm a Gemini. I am the King of Swords. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, it can mean someone who's not fooled by people, right? Who has like a lot of experience in life, you know. It's also someone who has so much experience that they have decided to lead with their head and not their heart, right? Like, this card emphasizes that you must trust your mind and use your mind and not your heart to navigate through, you know, certain situations in order to turn it to your advantage, you know. In a love reading, it could represent your partner. Um, you know, it's the King of Swords is not the most desirable partner to have, um, because, you know, they could be seen as cold and detached, and it's somebody who's like love life is not really their priority, right? Sometimes they can appear like inconsiderate and aloof, you know, someone who cares more about like their career, there's, you know, and money rather than his like romantic relationships. Um, you know, even if that person decides to like have a family, like usually they can't usually give the emotional energy that it takes to sustain a happy one, you know. So this could either be you or your partner. It doesn't have to be like a bad thing. Those are just like the energies and that the King of Swords um takes on. You know, you could be in a relationship like this, or you could be the one in the relationship that, you know, um takes on these types of energies. But in any case, it's basically telling you, you know, for a future, um, as your future card, you know, basically think with your mind, not your emotion. Like, be intelligent over the decisions that you make, right? And you also have that Knight of Pentacles here, and you have the Fool card down here that warned you, like, don't be irresponsible. Don't spend all your money. Save your money. You're gonna have like a lot of options. You know what I mean? Um, I'm just gonna end it. I'm gonna pull some romance uh, angels card for you. Whoa, there's so many of them. Well, I'll take this one. Express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So maybe if you've been feeling like overwhelmed or not wanting to talk to someone or something like that, um, you should go out. Perhaps like, you know, it's a separation. Time apart from your partner is on the horizon. Maybe you and your partner, you know, if you have one, have been like in conflict, or you really haven't been talking. And, you know, this card says to, you know, express your love. Maybe both of you are like at an impasse and none of you are making a move to talk to one another. But, you know, the romance angels are basically stating that you should go ahead and express your love, right? Then you finally have, this could be the one. You have already met the romantic partner you seek. So I hope this works for you, Gemini.